Hi, or as we say in Germany, Hallo. Today I will be interviewing Mr. Hegel. To begin, I will be giving a brief summary on what kind of a person he was and what he believed in. Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel was a well-respected philosopher in Germany. His philosophy placed the belief of historical change at the center of his intellectual system and covered a lot of ideas. Some of his ideas were progress of human spirit leading to greater freedom, the way men perceive the universe, and the relationship between consciousness, self-consciousness, and reason, relations between individuals and community, and the belief that history progresses in a dialectical relationship between a thesis and an antithesis, which results in a higher synthesis. Now I will save the rest until Mr. Hegel comes. Aha! There he is! Hi, Mr. Hegel.
Hello?
To start off, can you give us some background information about yourself?
Yes, and I was born in the city of Stuttgart, Germany, on August 27, 1779. My family was a family of some wealth and could afford to get me proper education. Unlike many others at the time, I did not have to do a lot of chores or work at a young age. After my studying, I worked as a tutor in rich families in Switzerland and Frankfurt, and later became the chair of philosophy at the Grand University of Berlin. But my life was shorter than I expected, though, at the age of 52, due to an epidemic of cholera breaking out in Berlin.
Your life seems to be filled with a lot of studying at a lot of different places, and I am sure that you met with people you liked or even worked with in universities. Can you tell me some of those people, Mr. Hegel?
Well, it may be surprising to you that I only had important bonds and connections with only two fellow students, Godelin and Skrilling. Both of these two friends became very famous and were very helpful to me for the most part. Godelin was a well-known poet, and Schelling a philosopher and an idealist like me.
How were they helpful to you, Mr. Hegel?
Well, first off, they were the ones that influenced me very significantly during my early years of publishing my studies. After my years at universities were over, I went to become a tutor as I explained before. There, I met Horderlin, who made me very interested in Kant's way of thought and his idealism. Schelling, on the other hand, helped me publish my studies such as the difference between Fichte's and Schelling's system of philosophy.
So were these two people the only factor that influenced you in your philosophy?
Though they were one of the main factors, there were other influences. For example, battles such as the Battle of Jena led to the shutdown of the university in Jena that I was working at. If this didn't happen, I might have been able to create works that were much more thorough and perfected. Also, the time period I lived in was German idealism. This movement got me very familiar with Immanuel Kant, and it is this that made one of my main problems to complete Kant's ideas, such as transcendental idealism.
You mentioned the problem that you were trying to solve during the explanation you just gave, right, Mr. Hegel? The one about completing...
Kant's ideas and fixing his flaws? Yes, I did.
Did you have any other important problems like this?
Well, of course. Another problem was the trouble of going through the process of formulating model ideas about the relationship between morality and self-interest. Let me say that once more. Another problem was the trouble of going through the process of formulating the modern ideas about the relationship between morality and self-interest.
And why was it that you made this one of your problems to solve?
Because this relationship was necessary and needed. It also supported one of my philosophy and my approach to the nature and limits of human cognition.
So your main influences were your two friends and Immanuel Kant. Your problem was to complete Kant's ideas and to formulate modern ideas about the relationship between morality and self-interest. And finally, your philosophy was mainly on spirituality, logical thinking, relationships between individuals and communities, and that history progresses in a dialectical relationship between a thesis and an antithesis, which together resolve in a higher synthesis.
Correct. And to add, theories on logic, nature, humanity, and the divine are what you can find most in my published studies.
Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Hegel. Have a good one. You too.